Okay. So I'm gonna go to GitHub and just make sure I'm all up to date. Oh, I have this ghost particle system update, but I'll just add that real quick. So adds particle system to ghost. Okay. Okay, so I'm all up to date. And so when I was working with Joel over the weekend, we were looking specifically at the script for the portal, and I realized that we didn't really add any checks to the portal script to make sure that you can't trigger it accidentally. And so, for example, the script works as it's intended in the sense that if you approach the portal and try to enter it, it's not going to let you, or it's going to tell you that you need a key. But what I didn't actually add to the script is something to prevent you from just hitting the button and going through the portal anyway. So you can see if I run the script or run the game, I haven't collected anything and I'm not near the portal. But if I hit the G key, it is going to send me through the portal.
Oh, I thought that was my bad.
Oh, okay.
I get rid of the key.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a game again.
Oh, okay.
It was happening to me all the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good example of something that user testing is useful for. So I should be doing my own user testing. But that's the kind of thing that I didn't notice because I was mostly just focused on creating the functionality, but not on breaking the game. So that's what user testing is actually really good for, is people are going to do things that you don't expect and you'll find bugs. So we just have to add a couple checks in here. So when I am actually, entered into the portal area, it changes this portal entered Boolean to true. And then if I have the special key, that's also going to be true. And so I need to check those things before I'll let the player, use the G key to enter the portal. So depending on how your game is set up, these things might be different. You might not have a key. You might have other circumstances. But what we want to do is add those checks into our input function. And that's pretty easy to do. There's different ways to do this, but I'm just going to do it in a simple way where I'm just going to go through each check individually. And if the check isn't met, then we're just going to end the function. So nothing's going to happen. So the first check is if the player has entered. And so what we want to do is say if the player's entered, but what we actually want is the opposite of that. So we're just going to say if not player entered, then we're just going to return from this function. So that's basically an easy way. Oh, I spelled not wrong. This should be NOT. So that's just an easy way to say if the player isn't in the area of the portal, obviously we don't want to, trigger the portal. So then the next check is that we have the global key. So we're going to ask basically this exact same question, but in our input script. So I'm going to copy that and put it right there. So if not global.has special key, then we're also going to return. And so this way, if those two, checks are not met, then we won't look for the portal input action. So we'll just ignore that. So now when I run the game, if I hit the G key, nothing happens. And then I guess I have to wait for this guy to leave. If I get close to the portal and I'm still hitting, if I hit the G key here, now nothing happens, which is good. And it says I have to find the key, which is over here somewhere. And now it should let me through. And there we go. So now that works. So that's just a couple of checks. So if you notice that bug, that was my bad. I didn't think to check for that. And if you didn't notice that bug, that's fine. You'll be able to add it into your code and update it. So I'm just going to go over to GitHub and add this. So I'm going to say adds portal fix. And I'm going to push this to the GitHub repo. And now that script is up here. So if we go to scripts and go to portal, you will see our checks there. So you really just have to add those couple of lines to your code, but you can also take a look at the code here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and I'll upload that video, but that's just a simple fix